All right, so we're going to get everyone welcome to Kodel Kol Shirim and Breslov.org, and we're going to have some exciting material today, Mitzvah Hashem. Getting ready for Purim. This week is Parsha Zachar. We have a very special Parsha this week. That's right. This Shabbos in Mitzvah Hashem, Haboleinu L'Tova, Mitzvah Hashem. And all people, even women, should, if they can, make their way to shul. It's highly recommended. It's not, according to most, it's not required because it is a mitzvah saseh shman grama, but however, it is a wonderful thing if the women can join in the shul as well. Okay, so. Let's learn about, we also have Parshas Vayikra. It's a very, very special Parsha. And we know that Vayikra is very special because it starts off with the Aleph Ze'ira. There's a little Aleph, right? The Vayikra, if you look at the Torah, the way it's written, you'll see the Vayikra, the Vav, the Yud, the Kuf, the Reish, are regular sized letters. And the Aleph is a little Aleph tucked in on the bottom. So did anyone ever wonder why that is? There's many explanations. So let's see if we could see today one from Rabbi Nachman, okay? And this is a lesson that's coming again from Reish Pei Beis. It's Reish Pei Beis is one of Rabbi Nachman's most celebrated Torahs. And we've learned it inside, and we keep seeing different pieces from it again. It's just wonderful. Here we go. Vayikra el Moshe. Vayikra el Moshe. So again, we don't know who's calling. It's usually Vayidabra Hashem el Moshe Leimar, right? It's something here. It's Vayikra el Moshe. Da, says the Rebbe. And every time the Rebbe says da, he's telling us something that he got Beruach HaKodesh. Sheyesh b'chol dar v'dar roya. In every single generation, we have a shepherd, we have a leader. Shu b'chinas Moshe, and every teacher, every Jewish, every Rav, every single manik is an aspect of Moshe Rabbeinu, because again, Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that introduced to us the Torah, and Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that brought us close to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Now, true Raya Mehemna. We know that Moshe Rabbeinu was the Raya Mehemna. Moshe Rabbeinu is the faithful shepherd. Moshe Rabbeinu is known as the faithful shepherd. There's a section in the Zohar Kodesh that's also called Raya Mehemna. Again, because of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? V'zeh haroya shehu oiseh mishkan, and this was the roya Moshe Rabbeinu that made for Klal Yisrael this mishkan. Of course, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't actually do the work physically. He had B'tzalel, and that was really the engineer. That was the engineer of everything. But Moshe Rabbeinu still. It gave all the instruction. Moshe Rabbeinu gave the instruction. All right, v'dash atidayke shel beis rabim mikablim hevel piyam sheim b'chet mizeh mishkan. So we know the beautiful importance of the children, the holy children that study Torah. All right, when Mordechai. When Mordechai went and he had the situation and he didn't know what to do, we know he went and he called the children. He met 3 children. And he asked them the psukim that they learned. And then based on the psukim that they learned, he understood that there was going to be a mapola to Haman. He understood that there was going to be a Yeshua for Klal Yisrael. All right, but again, it's based on the Tidaikis Shel Beis Rabim because they are so special because they don't have sin. We know that a child until a child is a bar mitzvah or a girl is bas mitzvah, they're not responsible for what they do because they don't have they're in the level of learning, and however they're not necessarily responsible. So they're when they speak and they learn Torah, the words are so precious because she'ein baychet mizeh mishkan. No, their cheshbon avonis is not started yet. It's not started yet. They don't have their own responsibility, right? And we know when a chassan and kala they get married, so we know at their chuppah, so they're also forgiven. These are all the same concepts that we're learning here. She'ein baychet mizeh hamishkan. It's coming all connected from the Mishkan. And we know that in many schools, the first psukim that they'll teach the children is Vayikra. They'll start with Vayikra, because Vayikra is such a special thing. It's with the Mishkan. Therefore, the Rebbe says, when a child begins and he starts to read and study Torah, okay, hu maschil in Vayikra el Moshe, specifically there. And then you'll see it's in the Medrash Rabbah. Shu Aleph Zeira, like we mentioned before. That's the little Aleph, the little Aleph. Ki Vayikra Midaber Migmar Hakamas HaMishkan, because the Mishkan is talking about when Vayikra is talking about when the Mishkan was already completed. It was the Gemara of the Mishkan. Sha'oz Koru Hashem Yisbarach v'Hiskil L'daber Imoy MeHaMishkan. And then from that time on, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would talk to Moshe Rabbeinu from the Mishkan. Mi bein shtei keruvim, right? There were the keruvim in the Kodesh Kodashim that were on top of the Aron Eidos, right? And in the Aron Eidos we had the Luchos, we had the Torah, we had the Luchos Shvar, we had the broken Luchos were also in there, and Moshe and the transmission that Moshe Rabbeinu would hear from HaKadosh Baruch Hu would always be from the time the Mishkan, it would be in the Mishkan itself. All right? Sha'oz karu Hashem Yisbarach v'Hiskil L'daber imay me'Hamishkan v'al came misham maschilin atinoikos, and therefore that's the place where the tinoikos start. Ki misham mikablim hevel piyam. That's where they get the vapor from their mouths, for the vapor when they utter the words. When they utter those words, it's coming from that holy place of the Mishkan. Misham maschilin likrais likanis l'sayich haTorah. From there, they come and they enter into the Torah. And we learned a couple of weeks ago. We learned about the importance of the Mishkan. That the Mishkan is protecting us. The Mishkan, when it's built, the Mishkan protects us, and we know that the Mishkan also protects us when it's in its churban. Okay. And we know that because we would constantly take the Mishkan. We would build the Mishkan, then we would take apart the Mishkan, and it would protect us in the desert from the snakes, scorpions, and the heat, and all of the dangers of the desert. The Mishkan would be there to protect us. And the same way we learned that the Mishkan was there to protect us in the desert, the Mishkan is protecting us today. And how does the Mishkan protect us today? When we study about the Mishkan, and we study and we read the Parshas of the Karbonos, and we connect ourselves to the avodah of the Mishkan, of the avodah of the Beis Hamikdash. That's how we can connect ourselves to the Beis Hamikdash, to the Mishkan, and that's why the Vayikra was so important. And then we're going to see another thing now. We'll see another idea that really. When at the Chet of Egel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took away from Moshe Rabbeinu 1,000 levels of light, whatever that means. Okay, and we know that when the Mishkan was built, and came Shabbos, Moshe Rabbeinu would get back those levels, and we know this is such a special thing, and that's why the little Aleph. That's why it's a little Aleph. Similar is saying the Aleph. Aleph is from Aleph, right? Aleph is the first letter of Aleph, okay, and that's why it's the Aleph Zira, because Moshe Rabbeinu lost 1,000 levels. Again, whatever that means, it's brought in the Zohar Kadosh. But again, we know that we can all get these things back on Shabbos, right? And that's why Shabbos is Me'ein Olam Haba, right? And that's why on Shabbos we get a taste, a glimpse of the Olam Haba based on the way we prepare for our Shabbos. Okay, so that's our first level lesson today, Chevra.